Today, we're going to tear down some old ideas about what it means to be emotionally strong. We're going to explore what's called the emotional architecture of a person and what that really tells us about resilience.
So let me ask you this. Have you ever been told that you're too sensitive? Or maybe too emotional? Maybe you've even said that to yourself. Well, what if that very thing, the thing you've been told to kind of push down, is actually the foundation of a really profound and, honestly, a pretty rare kind of strength? Okay, this slide gets right to the heart of it. For the longest time, the popular idea of emotional intelligence has been about, being nice, being agreeable, keeping a lid on your feelings. But the psychological truth, it's way more dynamic. It's actually a powerful mix of two things, having high emotional reactivity plus having high cognitive control. To really get this new idea, we've got to dismantle the old one first. So let's dive into the emotional intelligence myth and figure out what we've all been getting wrong for so long. I mean, think about it, right? We're always told to toughen up, don't cry, keep a stiff upper lip. The hero in the movie is always the one who shows no fear, no sadness. Society has sold us this picture that emotional control means just having less emotion to begin with. So let's look at the first half of that psychological truth, reactivity. Think of this as your emotional engine. We can call it the sign of sensitivity. Let's just put this out there plain and simple. If you tear up during a sad movie, or you feel that hot surge of anger when you see an injustice, that is not a flaw. It is not a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of something completely different. And this right here, this is the huge shift in perspective. Psychology doesn't see sensitivity as a defect. It reframes it as a biological trait. It just means your internal wiring is more attuned to the world around you. Simple as that. So what does that actually mean in practice? Well, it means you feel things more deeply. The good stuff, the bad stuff, even the subtle shift in a room's vibe. You're just picking up on more data, both emotional and environmental, than the average person. Here's a great way to think about it. Your emotional system isn't some sputtering old clunker. No way. It's a finely tuned, high-performance engine. It's powerful, it's fast, and it's incredibly responsive. Now, that power is a huge asset. But every powerful engine needs a skilled driver at the wheel. Which brings us to the second, absolutely crucial piece of this puzzle, the driver. The skill that lets you harness that powerful engine. And that is the power of the pause. Now, the pause isn't about stuffing your feelings down, not at all. It's about creating a tiny little bit of space between a feeling and your reaction to it. It's that moment where you consciously hit the brakes on a knee-jerk response, and you give your rational thinking brain a chance to come online and take over. And the best part is you can practice this. It's a real skill. So first, you just notice the feeling. Acknowledge it. Don't fight it. That's step one. Feel the impulse. Then, step two, activate the pause. Maybe it's a deep breath. Maybe you count to 3. Just create that space. And then, step 3, choose the response. You are now in the driver's seat. So, going back to our engine metaphor, your high sensitivity is the gas pedal. That's the power. The pause is your expert control over the clutch, the brakes, the whole 9 yards. And when you master both of those, you can navigate any emotional road with skill and precision. So when you put these two things together, the powerful engine and the expert driver, what do you actually get? Well, you unlock something that we can call a hidden mental strength. This table lays it all out perfectly. Look, if you have that high reactivity, that sensitive engine, but you have low control, you're not great at using the pause, you just end up feeling overwhelmed all the time. But if you take that same high reactivity and you combine it with high cognitive control, well, that's the sweet spot. That is what true emotional resilience actually looks like. So please, remember this. That deep well of feeling you have, when you pair it with the skill to pause and choose how you react, it is not a weakness. It's a powerful, adaptable, and honestly, a pretty rare form of mental strength that lets you connect deeply with the world while still staying centered. I absolutely love this quote. It just captures the whole idea so beautifully, right? Your sensitivity is the superpower that lets you see the world in high definition. And the pause, well, that's the skill that lets you actually use that power to fly, to navigate your life with grace and purpose. So I'm going to leave you with this question. The next time you feel that big surge of emotion, try not to see it as a flaw. See it as the rumble of your high-performance engine starting up. Then just take a breath, activate your pause, and decide where you want to go. How are you going to start reframing your sensitivity as your greatest strength?